Portugal. There's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know.
Hola, bom dia, alegria. Munson here with the Good Morning Portugal show, the live stream, the podcast, and of course, the Portugal Club. I'm very pleased with the growth. We made it free this week and delighted that a few people are joining. We've boosted our membership by a good handful of people. And I think by the time, with current rates of growth, I'll be about 152. By the time we meet the optimum level, perhaps. So come on over and keep us company at the Portugal Club, theportugalclub.com, where we're announcing brilliant news, for example. And I realise this is what will be attractive to people, not only sharing the Portuguese pleasure, but we know what we're like as human beings. There's only so much goodness and fun and joy we can take, and we like to have a little bit of a look at the negative side of life. How can I do that? By dealing with the Portuguese pains, the difficulties, the challenges, for which we provide hacks and support from the community and from the experts. And if we pop over to the Portugal Club now, it's my delight on that note to reveal last night. And thank you. I can't remember now who it was who sent me the news. As I predicted about the airport strikes being cancelled. I was asked this question a few times in the last couple of weeks. Do you think the strikes will go ahead? What sort of chaos and havoc will it create? Good morning to you, Sarah, by the way. T-Duck as well, good to see you. Nice to see you on the YouTube of Expats Portugal last night. And bon dia gumpers from Mike as well. Hope everything's sounding okay. We'll get underway with more Beach Boys in just a moment. We've got a special guest in the form of Russell Martin, who's playing at our gig tomorrow night. We've been invited to do another karaoke and club night as well here in San Martino de Porto, which is excellent. Really delighted about that. Sergio and Pedro asked me yesterday if I'd be up for doing that. And yes, it's looking like that could be a lot of fun. So another date to add to the diary, an evening's entertainment as well here in San Martino de Porto. And of course, 8:30, Coach Turner's back. He's got something new to add to the 50 Plus Vitality collection and support for your physical and mental well-being in the God Squad program that you can find at the Portugal Club. And also Eric Bourgon, he Mr. Digipause himself, talking about digital detoxing in his monthly slot. Yeah, but back to this airport situation. My suspicion was that it would blow over, as these things sometimes do. Well, thankfully it has. Airport strike called off. Airport handlers cancel strike over being thwarted over minimum services. I suspect they'll be back because I think they've been caught out on a technicality here, which I'm guessing they won't recover from necessarily gracefully. Hopefully some sort of win-win can be found, and everybody can get what they need from this, and congestion at the airports will be kept to a minimum. Paul, good morning to you. Great to hear from you this morning. Excellent news. Thanks for the updates, Carl. And yeah, going back to a balance of hacks, facts, and fun here. On the Good Morning Portugal show, and of course at the Portugal Club, dealing with your Portuguese pains, and one that came up yesterday was how to operate at the post office. That seems to be a Portuguese pain for some people. Jennifer saying, my biggest pain is having to go to the post office when it's filled with people. Sounds like your post office might be filled with people quite a lot. Post offices, incidentally, don't open on a Saturday here, do they, in Portugal? I put it off for as long as possible, as I can to avoid it. And on the pleasure side, here we go, facts, hacks and fun, balancing the pains and the pleasures. My biggest pleasure is driving to a new discovery. Portugal has unlimited charms, and I love learning about the history, traditions and culture. You're in the right place, Jennifer, for that as we make that journey with you. Completely agree, says Carl McAdam, other Carl, as I call him. I waited 30 minutes yesterday to send a return package, only to be told my label had the incorrect barcode. Oh! Last discovery drive was up to the stunning Val de Rocin, the highest lake in Portugal. Now, I've not heard of that, and I want to know more. So, Jennifer, your discovery drives, please send pics. Carl as well. Would love to see that highest lake in Portugal in the Estrelas. 913-590-303. So we need to do something about hacking your way through to the front of the queue at CTT, or finding a different solution. Quick cough there. Let's get underway with some music, and after the music, we'll come back with the Portuguese citizenship test number 14. Is it really easy, or is it a trick question? You can be the judge of that. Let's get underway. actually, the choice, the only musical choice I've had so far this morning was from Eric, who's talking about digital detoxing, and he cannily chose. Was it what are they called? The Devastated? I can't remember the name of the band now. I'm not a big fan of this tune. It is Simon and Garfunkel, of course, in the original. It's the sound of silence. Oh, Disturbed. I mean, that's the vibe I really get. That it's an amazing song in a way and a production, but I find it so depressing. I can't play that on a Feel Good Friday morning. So here instead are the Beach Boys. And wouldn't it be nice? Here we go. Well, I say here we go. All right, I want the beginning of that. I've got latency on my HDMI. There we go.
Wouldn't it be nice if we were older, then we wouldn't have to wait so long? And wouldn't it be nice to live together in the kind of world where we belong? No, it's gonna make it that much better when we can say goodnight and stay together. Wouldn't it be nice if we could wake up in the morning when the day is blue, and after having spent the day together, hold each other close the whole night through? What happy times together we've been spending. I wish that every kiss was never ending. But wouldn't it be nice? Maybe if we think and wish and hope and pray it might come true. Run with my baby, then there wouldn't be a single thing we couldn't do. But we could be married, and then we'd be happy, But wouldn't it be nice? You know, it seems the more we talk about it, it only makes it worse to live without it. But let's talk about it. But wouldn't it be
Beautiful. Oh, I remember feeling the teenage angst of that, listening to that as a teenager. Not in the time that it was made. The Beach Boys, of course. When would that have been made? Actually, I don't know. Yeah, when did that album come out? When was that made? I'll need to look that up. I don't know, but I was enjoying that and feeling all the feelings of that in the 80s. Probably a good 15, 20 years after its original release. And then, isn't it interesting how when we were kids in the 80s, for those of us who were kids in the 80s, the 60s seemed like the Victorian age. And it just doesn't seem the same now, does it? Well, not to me anyway, that 20 years ago seemed very recent. Not like how I used to look at the 60s, let alone the 50s with all those black and white rock and rollers. 1960s. Thank you, Adrian. Good morning to you. And Coach Turner's in as well. He'll be with us at 8:45 this morning. Or is it the other way around? We've got 8:30 and 8:45. I think we've got the coach on. Let me just check for you. For the itinerary this morning, we will have Coach at 8:30, so we can go off and get his coffee thereafter. Surfing USA. And Sexta-feira. Yeah, Sexta-feira. That's actually, that's a really good reminder. We haven't played any Portuguese music for a good while. Sexta-feira. What's the band who do the great version of that? Boss AC, isn't it? I think we're talking about Boss AC. I'm gonna go with that unless you put me right on that, Andeiro. Let's do this question then, the Portuguese citizenship test question, number 14. We're 2 weeks into this now. Only 86 more questions to go. Bom dia Portugal from João Ernesto as well, who is off for a Z4 drive later this morning in the Beamer on one of our favourite road trips, Castelo de Castro Laboreiro. That sounds lovely. I hope the weather's good for you. It probably is. You've probably chosen to go today on account of the weather, perhaps. Top down, driving gloves on, let's go. Yeah, that was such fun, John, when you let me have a little go and a drive along the Atlantic Road here in San Martino de Porto. A great memory. Bon dia todos e feliz sexta music choice on your WhatsApp, Carl. We're being overwhelmed with music. We're going to talk to Russell in a little while. I'm glad you couldn't hear me singing Wouldn't It Be Nice? That was pitiful. All the cats of the neighbourhood now clawing at the studio door. A man who can hold a note is Russell, and I'll be talking to him because he's appearing in... Oh, very good. Excellent. His choice is very good. I need to play that because... and One Day Like This Elbow. I think we will have to squeeze all of these in, maybe do a little bit extra after at the end of the show there. So thank you very much for that as well. Yeah, that's a good tune, the Elbow selection there. Yes, and Sexta-feira from Boss AC, very good too. Kenny Loggins, Footloose. I think we've got it now. We've got our playlist for this morning. Anything else will carry over. Maybe we'll start Monday morning with The Sound of Silence and The Disturbed. Can you imagine? Just heard, difference between 1980 and 2025 is the same as 1935 and 1980. Ah! I feel old. Russell, I'm waiting for Benny Hill theme song. Stop it. Past pain of the last karaoke. We nearly killed the whole event and had ourselves reported to the Council for Decency and Good Taste. If there was such a thing, they'd have definitely come and shut us down. There's no need to go on about that, Russell. Looking forward to talking to you in just a moment. And I've got your walk-on music. We have played this artist before, and it's the intro music for Savvy Cat, which is a bit of a clue. But this is a different tune by the Welsh legend. Talking of Welsh legends, where's Jackie? Not seen her for a while. Oh, come on, Bluetooth keyboard. Sort yourself out. Okay. I think I've got your tune lined up. Yes, I do. So I'll play that for you, Russell, in about 3 minutes when you join me. I hope I've sent you the right link. Click on that when you're ready, Russell. Good to see you in this morning environment. And looking forward to your company tomorrow evening. The Portuguese citizenship test then, number 14. What is the name of the fortified wine from Madeira? Now, who wants to fess up to just Googling these straight away? And how do you feel about the AI results, the way that Google is going? Yes, as I suspected. Anyway, let me know whether you think this is a really easy question or a trick question. No, I don't mean... Yes, remove your vote, Carl. What is the name of the fortified wine from Madeira? Is it A, Moscatel? Is it B, Madeira, perhaps? Or is it C, Carcavelos, which is a bit of a wild card answer. Now, I know Carcavelos as a place, not so much a booze. Is it a booze as well, I wonder? I'm going to have to look that up as well. So let's put... this is perhaps the shortest song we've ever played so far. And I do like the brevity of the tunes we were playing yesterday, those new wave punky tunes. In the spirit of a jukebox tune from, the 60s, perhaps, where it was just like in and out, and that's your lot. What is it? An intro, a verse, chorus, probably no middle eight or anything extra and frilly, and then out again on a fade. This is a bit like that. This is a bit of a pop genius. The belting voice, not quite the same as yours, Russell. Yours is a much sweeter voice, although I suspect you can lend yourself to this sort of vocal treatment as well. It's Tom Jones, everybody, and it's not unusual, and we hope to speak to Russell on the other side of this. Right, here we go. Come on, Tom. Oh, yes. Lovely. Fabulous.
It's not unusual to be loved by anyone. It's not unusual to have fun with anyone. But when I see you hanging about with anyone, it's not unusual to see me cry. I wanna die. It's not unusual to go out at any time. But when I see you out and about, it's such a crime. If you should ever wanna be loved by anyone, it's not unusual, it happens every day. No matter what you say, you'll find it happens all the time. Love will never do what you want to. Why can't this crazy love be more? It's not unusual to be mad with anyone. It's not unusual to be sad with anyone. But if I ever find that you've changed at any time, it's not unusual to find that I'm in love with you. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, my word.
Whoa, whoa.
Oh, but it's big finish there, and I hope you joined in at home with that. Absolutely superb. What a great choice. Let's change things up on the mixing desk here. Get any of that nasty echo, and give him a nice big round of applause. And bring him onto the screen. Good morning, Russell. How are you this morning?
I am lovely, Carl. How about yourself?
Very well. What a great choice of tune there. Tom Jones joining in with that bit at the end there. And this is the beauty of that song. Less than 2 minutes long. It's perfect, isn't it? The timing's perfect. Just leaves you wanting more, which is what I suspect you'll be doing with us tomorrow evening.
Yes, yes, that's my goal. That's my goal. I love that song. It's not unusual to be loved by anyone. I love it.
Yeah, maybe somebody will attempt it on the karaoke. Now, that's how we really got to know about your vocal talent. You joined us for one of our Saturday evenings. It's the third Saturday of the month when we do a karaoke and disco at the Casa de Lem. We're doing it tomorrow night. And I don't know if it was last time or the time before. I think it was last time, wasn't it? Because we had an August break. You took
Yes.
the mic and stunned everybody in the building. As usual, people are passing by outside, and they were stopping to look through the window to see who was causing this sweet sound inside, and it was you. And I was really surprised to learn that you weren't a professional singer coming over from the United States. This has been a hobby and an interest up until now. Is that right?
Yes, you are correct. It's always been a hobby. And, in the U.S., I've sung in Catholic church choirs, and we all know how those choirs are. And it's just something that I had sort of been thinking about doing. And my partner, Martina, she was like, you should really, when you get an opportunity, you should really try to do it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay. And, I would do karaoke from time to time,
Yes.
uh, but not any real live singing.
Yeah. Well, you surprised and delighted us on that occasion, and now we had a chat, didn't we? And we're thinking, well, maybe you should have a proper gig. So that's what's happening tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, Casa de Lem, nice and early for the foreigners, right? This is unthinkable for Portuguese people to be starting an event at 7 o'clock in the evening. They're just getting in from work, I think, and getting changed and ready to go out maybe at 11. But a great time for the foreigners. And there we will be. And special mention, of course, for your musical partner here, Miguel, who we see in the Baia Cultural bar. He's an amazing musician and entertainer in his own right. How did you two get to be working together?
Well, actually, when I first in 2023 came to Portugal for the first time and was introduced to Bicultural, and it happened to be my birthday. So we were in there, and I walk in, and he's singing and he's playing away. And I just asked him, I was like, after he finished, I said, hey, I would love to sing with you at some point. And he said, well, yeah, you could have just come up while I was performing. And I said, no, I would really, really like to sing with you. And he's like, you professional? No. Have you sang in a band or anything in the U.S.? No, never have. And
But he's thinking to myself, oh my God, what have I let myself in for?
yes. And so he said, well, I tell you what, he said, meet me tomorrow. I'll bring my guitar, and we'll find a corner and see what you can do.
Is that
And
Wow,
yeah,
how generous and kind. How very Portuguese, in fact.
yes, I'm very Portuguese. And we did that, and we've been performing together ever since. Normally, every Friday, I'll join him for a period of time at Bicultural. Him being Portuguese, it's a good mixture.
Yeah.
Whenever we're in a quote unquote mixed crowd, we can do some Portuguese, some English. So it works out well for us.
Superb. Have you been learning a bit of Portuguese material yourself then?
Not at all. That's my next.
That's honest. That's honest. Not at all.
That's my that's
Right.
my next thing is to learn. He was just like, uh, I learned songs in English. You should be able to learn in Portuguese. And I just started laughing. I was like, it's not even the same thing.
Well,
It's not
I
even the
you're
same.
right. You are going to though, I suspect. Are you not?
Oh yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. By next year, hopefully, I will be able to at least start doing some songs in Portuguese as I learn the language and don't want to butcher a song by
Oh,
singing incorrectly.
how could you
Makes me
imagine? Oh my word! Like you're there singing to a Portuguese crowd, and they hear the start of it, and they think, "Oh, this is beautiful." Miguel's playing along on his guitar, and you start singing, and you're turning the words from like "I lost my love at sea" into "I desperately need to use the toilet" or something like that. And they
correct.
you get booed off.
Why are the decency police coming in to talk to me right now? What did I
All
say?
right. Well, after they've arrested us for our Benny Hill performance for the last, I'd like to make a public apology. Doing Ernie by Benny Hill wasn't the smartest move on the karaoke, so we'll probably never do that again. If I can just issue that apology and put that right on the social record there. But
Well,
you were
it's all about positioning. When you're ready to get rid of everybody, that's you sing that song at the end of the night instead of "Good Night, Irene." You just start singing that one.
yes, very good. Yes, indeed. Okay, yeah, I like the reframe on that. We'll save it for the last tune when everybody needs to go home. And it was very reassuring to know that you were, although very disappointed, clearly, and you made no secret of that in our performance. You were familiar with the comic genius that is Benny Hill.
Oh, love Benny Hill, love Benny Hill. So that's why I was laughing so hard when you all were singing, and everybody was like, "What? What is this? I don't understand what's going on." I was
Yeah.
like, "This is brilliant." Missing it.
Yes, all it was missing was bald men and women in bikinis. But we've moved on. We've moved on
Yeah.
culturally from that sort of thing that made us laugh back in the
Yes,
day.
yes, yes.
Right.
But I'm super excited about this because just the last time was my first one attending the
Yeah.
karaoke disco night, and the power, the passion of the people that came and performed and danced, and I mean, you could really see people enjoying the hard work that you've done. I heard about how karaoke night has come into existence. From just hey, let's catch up and sing a couple of tunes or listen to your investment and everything that you've done to actually uh, bring this to an event,
Mhm.
and just to be able to add live music to it. I'm super excited.
Well, it is an amazing thing, and thank you for making that happen. So from 7 o'clock tomorrow evening, it'll be fairly easy going, I'm sure, in a typical sort of Portuguese way. Tomorrow evening, and then after you've sung and performed with Miguel, the rest of us will have a go, maybe clear the place again, and with some dancing and with some karaoke. And Russell, I was selecting Portuguese wine of the week from Sergio yesterday, and he said, "Oh, you need to chat to Pedro." I've been chatting to Pedro at one of the other bars here in San Martino de Porto, and you can come and do your music, your DJing, your disco thing, karaoke in another bar, Solução, which I don't know if you know it, but it's the best laundromat in all of the Western world. It's a laundrette, a laundromat where you can play pool, you can play darts, and you can have a beer, a burger, some chips, watch the football or whatever's on the TV. And Pedro, who's the owner there, wants to open up his doors to a wider clientele and has invited us down there. So it may be that you'll be performing there before long as well. And I think it's going to be a good home for our men's shed here in San Martino de Porto as well. So I'm looking forward to popping along there too. So good news. This thing is expanding.
Excellent. Excellent.
All right, mate. So, yeah, bon fin semana to you, but I'll see you tomorrow night, of course. Anybody else who wants to join us can do so. It's absolutely free to get in, we should mention as well. Russell and Miguel playing from around 7. Don't be all British and be there at 6:45, expecting them to start dead on 7. It doesn't really work like that here in Portugal. But they will be performing tomorrow night at the Casa de Lem cocktail bar, right in the heart of town. And we are back for the autumn. We took an August break, but we are back tomorrow evening and delighted to have Russell and Miguel headlining. So thanks so much for joining us. Want to see more of you in the mornings on here, Russell?
For sure. For sure.
Uh,
Yes.
okay, cheers. All the best, Martina, and we'll see you tomorrow.
All right.
All right, cheers, mate. Bye for now. There's Russell Martin, everybody. And we'll go back to some music now. What a ledge. We'll see him tomorrow night, and we'll have a great fun evening tomorrow. Press the button and this one. And then, yes, Mel's choice. Because you got to cut loose, a foot loose. Come on. No, we need Russell back, don't we? Sorry about that, everybody. Right, where are you, Kenny? There he is.
Been working so hard, I'm punching my card. 8 hours for work, oh tell me what I got. I got this feeling that time's still holding me down.
Very good choice. That's put a spring in our step. Something I think the coach will approve of. We've got to click a few buttons and bring him onto the stage in a moment because he has a little bit of a remix or an addition to the God Squad. Bon Viveur, Vitality, those who like the good things in life but want to stay fit and well too. Let me just calm the background down. Yeah, if you want to send in some of these backdrops, 913-590-303. Less than a minute in landscape. I want to do more of these in the background. And a quick meme for you there. We've got what do you have? This is in a Portuguese pastelaria. Thank you to Moving to Portugal for this. It was sent to me. It was screenshot and sent to me. What do you have? A lady asking in a Portuguese pastelaria, what do you have with no fat and no sugar? Let me see now, says the lady behind the counter. Napkins. I think even the napkins in Portugal are fat and sugar. They're pre-sugared and pre-fatted. Let's give him a nice round of applause and bring him onto the screen. You know what we're talking about with the pastries, don't you? Partial to
Yeah, yeah. Looking forward to being sat in San Martino in about 10 days' time.
Oh,
and
excellent.
having our coffee and pastel in the morning.
And that's what we're all about here,
Absolutely.
living the dream, living the good life, but also taking care of ourselves. And that's what you've done with the God Squad program. And that can be found and engaged in the classroom over at the all-new Portugal Club. And you have something new for us for it today, I believe, Coach. What's been on your mind? What have you seen?
Yeah, well, I kind of came across a guy who said, look, don't worry about doing lots of stuff in one go. Break it up during the day. Do little bite-sized chunks of exercise, because it's actually the total amount of exercise that's the important thing. It doesn't matter when you do it. So little 5-minute chunks. If you're sat at a desk every hour, get up, walk around, do something for 5 minutes or so. So then I started to think, well, actually the difficult bit is forming that as a habit, isn't it? And this thought of doing exercise is always a bit of a barrier for lots of people.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, exactly. I mean, we all struggle with it. I struggle with it. I like to think I'm fairly healthy. But yeah, exercise snacks, Mel, absolutely. Little bite-sized bits, and just get into the habit of taking 5 minutes every so often. Build that as a habit first, and then you can begin to build little bits of exercise into it, and that should reduce that big sort of scary barrier of, well, I don't want to do exercise. So it's just build the habit of taking 5. It can be, take 5 every so often to just meditate or just be calm or anything actually. And then gradually you can introduce, maybe going for a walk for 5 minutes or doing anything active really.
Yes.
So it's that mental thing of building a habit of taking time.
Well, maybe then we've got a concept. Is this a thing Mel's just come up with, or is that what you've heard it referred to as before?
I've heard it as exercise snacks before now.
All right, or extra snacks. If we really want to trim it down, extra snacks.
I quite like bite size, so it's a bit friendlier.
Well, it is.
Except for vampires.
Yes, yeah. It makes it sound more attractive because the word diet has die in it, doesn't it? Whereas bite size makes you think of a little Snickers bar. Snacks makes you think of a nice chamosa or a little croquette or something here.
Or a pastel even.
Pastel as well. So maybe we can, between us, come up with some of these suggestions, things that people have found useful themselves. And I think you make a really good point about breaking up the sort of mental dread. Anywhere we can do that in our lives. The current vogue is to throw yourself into an ice bath and give yourself a good shouting at and tell yourself how pathetic you are and just get on with it, you driveling, sniveling little. And although that might work, in a national service 1950s black and white, like or film or something.
Your country needs you.
It's not sustainable, is it? Well, I think we've unless people are psychologically made up like that, it doesn't tend to be a very sustainable approach. So anything we can do to get into some decent habits and manage that first part of it, which makes it seem a little
Yeah.
sweeter. And you see what I did there? Sweeter. You want to be using words like that, don't you? And
You do. You do.
once we start thinking about this, we'll come up with all sorts of things. So you're just breaking away from what you're doing and trying something like, a couple of burpees or a stretch or whatever works for you and isn't too onerous. Now, and of course, Eric might have something to say about this when he joins us a little bit later on, because it's about mindfulness as well. It's a really good way of bringing mindfulness, isn't it, into the situation,
Yeah.
because we can get our heads down in front of the computer and hours can pass and we don't know where we went or what happened, do we? So I think it's really good from that point of view of breaking the routine and monotony up as well.
Yeah, it's just, as I say, building that habit of just taking a little time every so often.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be a huge amount of time.
Mm.
I'm a bit peculiar with what I do, but
I've heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I try and keep it quiet. But the trouble is, it gets put onto YouTube. And
I'm up to walking 8 to 10 kilometers, 4 to 6 days a week. Now, and that sounds
really good.
Well, a little bit with T-Duck. T-Duck loves to get out and walk the streets of Lisbon and get the steps in. And he's someone.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
And he makes it a joy. He's made it his own joy. And so I'm guessing what he's thinking in the mornings is like, where am I going to walk to today? I can't wait. And that's the mental attitude you want. And Mike sounds the same as well, right? Where am I going today on my kilometers?
Yeah, one of our, it's interesting, one of our limitations where we live is there's not very many places to go walk to.
Right, okay.
So whereas, when we're away, there's always loads of places, exciting places to walk to.
Yeah.
I could walk 2 minutes up the road and I'm into woods, but if you do that every day, it gets somewhat repetitive. So,
yeah.
So, there's not lots of nice pavements to walk along. You end up walking along country roads with cars doing 50, 60 miles an hour, and that's not pleasant. So we're a bit restricted around here. So we end up driving somewhere to go for a walk, which is.
But that's fair enough, isn't it?
Yeah, you can do it. You can do it. We do it. But it's not quite as easy as just opening the door and getting out.
Well,
we do go for our coffee, of course, every morning.
You do. We won't be standing in your way this morning. But I thought that I after sort of years of environmental guilt, I had this sort of thought pattern that I can't drive somewhere to exercise. That's ridiculous. I must just walk out of my house and do it. And I thought, no, hold on a minute. It's better to actually drive somewhere and exercise. I'll do that. I'm not going to give myself a hard time about it. And another realization I had is that I was doing the same. I think I might have mentioned this before, and it was such a sort of breakthrough. It was so idiotic as well. I was walking the dog one morning, and I was thinking. I think it was when I used to get up early and walk the pair of them. The old one's getting a bit difficult to take out now. So me and the younger fella go out on a separate walk so we can go further. But back in the days when I was taking them both out, I was walking one when I was thinking, I really hate this walk. It's just so boring. It's the same every day. And then it suddenly occurred to me, why don't I do something different? I was the idiot who was making myself go on the same walk and not enjoying it. It wasn't like there was a teacher or a parent making me do it. I was the architect. I was the architect of my own misery until I thought, oh my, yes, I can do something different. This is ridiculous. So I did. I found a new walk, and the rest is history. But the same's true for everybody, isn't it? We do tend to compound thought forms and thought trajectories, don't we? Exercise is difficult. I'll swallow the frog. I'll get it done. And once you start talking to yourself like that, I think it's a slippery slope downward, isn't it? You're talking yourself out of it.
You'll end up not.
Yeah, exactly.
And certainly not enjoying it.
Correct. Yeah.
So a walk should be enjoyable. Really.
Absolutely.
All right, you can get a bit puffed if you've got a hill to climb, or you do our favourite fartlek walk. But,
yes.
But it should be enjoyable. It should be somewhere nice, interesting.
A good
places
fartlek
to look at. A good
Yeah, a good
fartlek.
fartlek first thing in the morning. Incorporate things in that make you giggle and make you laugh. Morning, Gemini. Good morning, everyone. Matty's here now as well. Buon di alegria. Adoro-ci, felice sexta-feira. Put in the sex in sexta-feira. And I remember this guy, Paul Richards. Yes, I remember you. Where you been, Paul? Hi, guys.
Hey,
I'm
Paul.
expert in thinking about exercise. Emphasis
Yes.
there. And look, this is an incentive as well. This is what we're talking about, isn't it? Being up in the mountains creates great interval training, and
Exactly that.
it seems like Mike is there's sort of endorphins are flowing while he's doing up his trainers basically, and that's the kind of mindset you want to get in. T Duck, my analysis of his style of exercise is right, absolutely, and he'll take the metro to a new area and then walk. Isn't that amazing? Making Lisbon city centre your gym. Your step gym, absolutely fantastic. So, have you got any
Well,
more?
I just on that. I used to stop off one or two stations early,
Mm.
get out and walk. So you
Mhm.
end up having a walk, and you haven't you've got to get there anyway.
Yeah,
So
I heard
same
you.
with
I
same
heard
with
you did.
buses.
I heard you did that to save money, but then the zone system came in.
Oh well, Leslie certainly did that when she was younger. She used to walk to jump a zone, and she used to walk about 2 miles every morning and every evening just to
And
jump a
bus
zone.
fare. Yeah, yeah. Before they made
Yeah,
it flat fares, you could save a bit of bus fare and buy sweets instead.
yeah. Well, yeah. Not quite that young, but first house and saving every penny that you have. It's
Yeah,
stuff.
absolutely.
Always did. Just
Everyone,
just
all these exercises are coming out the closet now. Yes, of course, because you're both retired. How's that going, by the way? Because that is quite the milestone, isn't it? When both people are retired and they find themselves in each other's company all the time. How's
yeah.
that going, Mr. and Mrs. Andero? We get a lift with the kids or neighbours and get dropped off along their way to wherever they're going, then walk different ways home. You could
Brilliant.
spice that up with blindfolds, don't you think? If he gets his kid like a fake a kidnapping, put a sack on your head, they drive you somewhere, drop you off, and you have to find your own way home. It'll toughen you up, Andero. Does being dragged around a supermarket every day count? Does it, Coach?
Yeah.
Okay.
All exercise.
Yeah. All right.
But my tip about supermarkets is park furthest away from the supermarket in
Yeah.
the car park.
Yes.
So A, you get to walk, and B, there's a lot less cars likely to slam open their doors into the
Oh,
side of
yeah.
your car,
Whoops. Yes.
which always bloody happens. I get seriously peeved with it. So
Well.
just on another note, I saw a note about Little Feet, the
Oh,
band,
yeah. I'll be playing.
earlier on with
Yeah.
Sarah.
We'll play that. We'll play that request.
So I saw Little Feet along with Streetwalkers, Alex Harvey, sensational Alex
The
Harvey band
sensational Alex Harvey band. Yes. To give
at,
him a proper title.
at Charlton Stadium in London, East London, South London, with the Who.
East London, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a Who gig in 1976, I think. And the Who were the Who, but the other bands were brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
What do you mean the
Little,
Who?
little. Well,
they
they do
up
their
the
thing,
stuff.
don't they?
Yeah.
They were quite a cool. They were into lots of lasers at the time. They were the first band to really engage lasers.
Before Health and
Zinging around, before Health and Safety, zinging around the stadium. I mean, great light show. But Little Feet were brilliant. Streetwalkers was brilliant, and Alex Harvey is a life favourite, sensational.
I get the feeling you've been enjoying having music in the mornings. It's made a difference,
Yeah,
hasn't it?
it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah. And I will.
Great morning show.
I will play you Rudy one day.
Yeah, dude. Well, just find it and listen to it. It's a wonderful song.
All right. Now I know we may have a coffee coming between us, so you need to get out and about and do your first exercise snack, which is walking to the coffee shop. Have you got any more bite size or snacks for us, suggestions? Because I think we maybe have a little thread of these in the Portugal Club, and things that people will think, oh yeah, actually I could do that. I'll just break away from the getting my head down on the computer. We're talking more to Eric about breaking up the digital onslaught.
Just if you get a chance. And this doesn't have to be in a gym, though normally it would be. Rowing machine. Get on a rowing machine, even for 5 minutes.
Why is that? What's so good about a rowing machine?
Well, it uses about 85% of the muscles in the body.
Right.
So it's brilliant exercise. I've been trying to sort of do that for about 10 minutes, 10, 12 minutes every morning. And it's made a huge difference to me.
Okay. Yeah, you
So,
did mention.
I can actually feel and see the difference. So, yeah.
Okay, all right, and it makes a very good floor drobe. Rather than chucking your stuff on the floor, you can actually find an intermediate place to hang your clothes of an evening on the rowing machine.
Well, there are rowing things normally in these outdoor places that the councils build.
We have those, yeah. We're very well served locally, so you'll be proud of us, Coach. We get, I was gonna say, we get in the car. We only do that because the street gym is some way away, and then everybody gets on their favourite machines, and we go as a family to the
Yeah.
the public open gym, and
So it's down by the beach, isn't it? On
there's one
the
over.
promenade.
There's one over at Salir. There's one up the hill at Serra de Mangas. There is one on the beachfront. We've got three within very close
Brilliant.
proximity, albeit we do drive there most of the time. But we get down there, we get some fresh air. Maybe towards the end of the day, see the sunset, and have some lovely
Yeah.
exercise using those facilities. In fact, we
And
met
yeah.
Eric there the other night. We were out, and Eric can bear witness to our efforts as a family doing exercise on the street gym. He was a bit unimpressed with how easy they were, but he's a very fit and strong fella himself. But suddenly, Mrs. M said to me, we were using the machines, and she said, "I think I've left the pan on." So we had to and that was the first run. That's the first bit of running I'd done for ages. I had to run back to the car, get a bundle of family into the car, and get home. And the pan had boiled dry. So a little note to Mrs. M and everyone: be careful when you go out. That whole thing about have we turned the stove off? Yes, definitely worth checking. Little Feet neighborhood band when I lived in Venice, a neighborhood of California. Yeah, not in Italy. South East London, as a Charlton fan sing. One of over a dozen London clubs I stewarded at, says Adrian. Well, you'll have some stories to tell, Adrian. And I've been with the Charlton fans. When I lived in Exeter, some visiting relatives of a girlfriend, they were going to see Exeter versus Charlton. And I found myself with the Charlton casuals in the away end, which was a very... it's just something about being put in the away end, isn't there, when you visit a football club?
It's an educational experience.
It was open air. It was, all these smartly dressed South East London geezers with their football programs tucked into their back pocket in their finery, shouting out. And it was as if when the Berlin Wall was broken and up for sale, Exeter FC bought it to put the away fans into. It was quite the experience.
My only experience like that was Crystal Palace against Millwall.
Oh, why?
Exactly. I have no idea. It was when I was at college. It was a crowd of us went to it, and
oh my word!
It was an experience.
Well, thank you for your new innovation. We're going to chat to Eric in a minute, and we'll see how that fits in the bite-sized exercise snacking, really breaking up the long runs of digital consumption with a little bit of physical exercise. I've got a feeling Eric's going to heartily approve of that. So, Coach, bon fin semana. Carry on putting the sex into sexta-feira, and we'll look for some of these bite-sized snacks in the Portugal Club. All the best to you.
Cool. Yeah. See you in about 10 days.
We will see you here in San Martino de Porto real soon. Take care. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao. Ciao, ciao.
See you, mate. Okay, and we'll keep the applause going, and we'll bring that Eric Bourgon to the screen. Hello, mate.
Yes, hello, Carl.
How are you?
Happy Friday morning.
Well, and happy birthday to you. Your
Thank
birthday
you.
yesterday, I believe. Parabéns, je vous say. Did you have a nice day yesterday?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Very good.
Apart from any technology in the presence of my beloved girlfriend.
Oh, best.
Daughter,
Excellent. Good for
and
you.
the dogs, living life.
Living real life. Look at you.
Living real life. Exactly like April 29th.
What
and I
do
wrote
you
a
mean?
piece on that 2 days ago.
Okay. What happened on April 29th?
Well, remember this power outage.
Oh, the great blackout of
That one.
2025 on April 29th. Okay, tell us more about that. What were you thinking?
Well, this is the thing, because when that happened, and because you were present in Portugal, nobody was expecting such a thing.
Mm.
It was like, oh, all right. So what are we supposed to do then? It was pointless to reach out for your phone, pointless to
Yes.
look for any type of electricity, no matter what. Nothing was working. And it was an incredible day to realize how much potential we have as humans
Yes.
out of the machine, right between us. Like, how do we deal with that? I will almost say, unfortunately, it was just one day. But after a few hours, I saw how people were able to adapt and
Yeah.
realize, hey, it's not the end of the world. It's just a new world, the
Yeah.
one we've been waiting for. It
Well,
was very powerful.
that's quite a claim. So, do you
Yeah.
think we need an intervention of that scale and kind to cause that to happen? We're not going to be doing it for ourselves. This presumably is your experience as Mr. Digipause and encouraging people to unplug, as it were.
It's unfortunate to say that perhaps we will need that. It's when you
Right.
lose something that you have no choices but to adapt what's available around you, inside you and around you.
Yeah.
Nowadays, we talk a lot about boredom. And many neuroscientists have said, look, boredom is healthy for you. It helps you calm down your monkey mind, help you develop gray matters, or at least keep the brain functional and resilient. Now,
Mm.
again, I'm not a neuroscientist. I will let people do their
Me
research
neither.
for that. But the point is, how often these days, us or kids, we try to run away from boredom. This notion of nothingness. This is scary. I need to fill it up with more time online, scrolling, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But the point is, how often do we sit with it by saying, hey, this is life. This is part of life. Boredom is just as it is. This is where you start to have your creativity, the flow comes in. Uh, and I think that events like what we had on April 29th are just a friendly reminder that
Mm.
technology is there to serve us, but we also need to remember who's coming first. And now that we're so seduced by I think it's important to talk about it openly so
Yeah.
that people can start to recognize themselves.
Yes.
Remember, we talked about this challenge together, the Unplugged Challenge. Since 2018, I've done 6 different versions. I work with people who said, I'm extremely tired. I need help. I say, okay, here's what we're going to do. First step first. You're just going to sign up for this Unplugged Challenge. It's going to be for 20 days. You're going to dedicate 20 minutes a day, and it's going to allow you to claim back 20 hours a week. Pretty basic.
Mhm.
What I found is that most people say yes because they have no choices. They feel trapped. But after a few days, they run away.
Yes. It is the
So
nature of addiction, perhaps, is it not?
it's an addiction. Thank
Yeah.
you. That's why I'm saying that. I'm using a very complex language to go back to the basic. Can we see it as an addiction?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can we understand, accept, and assume that this thing is exactly like smoking, exactly like drinking? There is no differences. Now,
Mhm.
sure, some doctors will disagree, will say, oh, it's not recognized publicly, so we're not allowed to make any diagnosis of any kind. The DSM-5 doesn't recognize it, or it does piece by piece.
What's that? That's the psychiatric handbook, isn't it? The DSM.
Yes, the DSM-5, the big Bible, so
Yes.
that when
Okay. Yeah.
when the professionals have access to the resources that are in the DSM-5, they
Yeah.
can then give you a clear understanding of the pathology behind the choices you make.
And I've
So
heard of
we talk
a ph-
about
and a pharmaceutical drug to deal with it. That would be one.
voila, voila.
That would
And
be one.
that's what we don't know now.
Yes.
It remains vague on purpose by the World Health Organization because they're waiting to find the magic pill to
Yeah.
fix us. It reminds me of a movie. Do you remember the movie Equilibrium with Christian Bale?
I don't know.
You definitely want to watch that. It was like in the future, and it's the same than the book from the Huxley, Brave New World.
Okay. Yeah.
It's the world of dystopia where people are so disconnected, they don't even realize they're disconnected. And we're getting there slowly but surely. And
Okay.
everyone,
I thought you was going to say we are there now. But I guess
um, I
we're
would
borderline
be,
in many ways, aren't we?
I'm, you know, I'm cautious when I use that kind of language because a lot of people show, clearly show signs that they're disconnected from their emotions, from their body. We talk about cognitive dissonance all the time. We see the rise of narcissism. We see the big disconnect between what we really need and what we do to get it.
All right, I
Um,
take your point. I take your point. Have a great weekend, Andero. And yes, follow T-Duck's advice and smash that like button, folks. It's good to see more people than usual here this morning, and I'll put your comments onto the screen as they come in. Matty remembers that movie. Everyone was born in a lab and no natural births anymore. At birth, your job was already assigned. We're
Yeah.
not far from that. I saw some quite shocking. A shocking news piece yesterday. I think the person in charge of obstetrics, probably a man, in Portugal, said there are no safe home births, and this is all part of that move, isn't it? Into
Yeah.
I think into that Christian Bale
And
world.
that's why I bring equilibrium
Yes.
as part of this conversation, because now it is official that there's going to be some AI that will carry the baby, and there's a system in
Oh,
place
stop
that
it,
will,
Eric. Okay, and you think that it's going to take an intervention of the kind we had on April. It's great that you remember the date. And what's the Portuguese word? There was a Portuguese word for blackout, wasn't there? Which somebody will tell us in the chat. But it's your suspicion, perhaps, then, if people won't intervene in their own addiction, we could say borderline addiction, then some external event is required for that. What was occurring to me while you were talking about it was, and this whole thing of boredom, because it's a difficult one, I think, isn't it? It's like the reframe we were talking about with Coach Turner. Let's do bite-sized exercise. Let's break away mindfully from what we're doing and do something physical. And in that way, we can, over the day, we'll end up doing half an hour, maybe an hour's exercise in total. I mean, it makes it not only psychologically manageable, but psychologically attractive. And we seem to be playing this game with our mind all the time, don't we? It's to please our mind rather than to please our true selves. And that's all part of this, isn't it? And it's funny because I saw a hilarious sketch. It was like Downton Abbey. And a girl around the dining table says, "Can we all stop looking at our phones?" And it's like I don't know, an Edwardian family looking at phones this big on the table in front of them, and she's making all the jokes that people do now about cell phones, about mobile phones, and it's in the way that comedy shows us how silly we can be. It's a perfect example of that. But we do. I'm resonating with you. We do have to kind of get into that boredom state, perhaps, or of not doing anything, of maybe not even thinking, because the idea of it being boredom is a thought. We
yeah.
don't have to sit there thinking, I'm not liking this, I'm bored. There must be a way, presumably, of not doing anything without judging it as boredom, perhaps. I mean, and I know you've got some experience in that. How do you reframe that? How do we condition ourselves away from the terror and the fear of being still and not having our minds engaged? I suppose would be one way of putting it. Apagal. There we go.
Remember the FOMO, right? The fear of missing out.
Yes.
What if I miss something important?
Yeah.
I think that's the first step, because when you realize that a couple of years ago, scientists made a declaration saying that most people that are consumed on their screen night and days are experiencing now the ROMO, the reality of missing out.
I've not heard that before. Right. Okay.
So I created a term that I use in my presentations called phone, FONE, the fear of not existing. And when you look at Buddhism, because I've been exploring different form of spirituality to really understand what's the view coming from other. I think it's important to not be limited to one view, but also understand other forms of view. And when you understand that this is the fear we have, this fear of detachment, the fear of not being who we think we are, and that's the ego. We're driven by this idea, this avatar, this is who I am. And then you make a story out of that, the making meaning machine. And we both did Landmark, so we know about that.
Yeah.
But when you sit in a place of emptiness, then everything is possible. You tap into a world of infinite possibilities. You're not limited to just one condition or one environment. And transcendental meditation, again, it's an example of that. So I think that once people start to open up and explore different ways, they understand that perhaps my way is okay, but there's other possibilities out of that.
Yes.
And I
Yeah.
think quantum physics touch on it deeply.
Yes, well, there's a lot of help around. There's a lot of insight around. In the time, perhaps, when we have this most terrifying scenario that you speak
Yeah.
of, we also have the most incredible tools available to us, and that's the genius of humanity, I suppose, or the universe, to offer balance. It's there if we want it, and you're helping people one to one, presumably, if they want to go through and be supported in a program with you of freeing up. How many hours a week did you say?
20
Or a month?
hours a week. And it's
20.
easy because once you do the evaluation,
Yeah.
I will have it made public on
Yeah.
your platform by the end of next week. Um, when people realize that they spend an average of 15 hours a week scrolling,
Yeah.
we're talking about being counterproductive. We're not talking about something that is designed to support you in any forms of task.
Yeah.
Just finding ways to pass time, killing time, as we
Yeah.
say in Asia. You're like, wow, okay. Because the idea to just walk plain, for most people, it's unbearable because a lot of people struggle with
Terrible.
social
Yeah.
anxiety,
Yes.
okay? And the idea to walk on a main street without looking at something, it's very,
Yeah.
it's inconceivable somehow. The
Yes.
same with this constant impulsive reaction to take your phone out of your pocket, like almost like a gun when
And
we
give
were
us.
watching cowboys and Western movies,
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yes.
always ready to shoot. In a moment where you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm missing something at
Yeah.
the cash, waiting for the bus, when
Yeah.
you're about to cook, when you go to the toilet, what's that about? And when you
Well,
just put 5 minutes a day for 7 days, just for that, that's part of the evaluation. You realize that 35 minutes went by just like that. And that's just
indeed.
an example.
Yes, well, talking to you has made me more conscious about that, and I have a second thought now as when I go because I have got into that instinctive, or had got into that instinctive, get the phone out in a quiet moment, and I choose not to sometimes as well. So I thank you for that, Eric. Thank you for being here, and maybe we don't have time to get into it now, but as you say, you'll be creating a program that we'll put into the Portugal Club as well to help
Yeah.
people free up more quality time. Use it as you wish, but presumably the idea is to go from the reality of missing out, the fear of missing out, into enjoying your life to the fullest, which is what we're all about here in Portugal with the Good Morning Portugal endeavor. And yeah, the AI conversation, I mean, to me that's the latest part of this. We went from perhaps just being into needing to be distracted, which became our thinking, and then our thinking found an outside expression in the computers and the information that was now in a mirror back to us. We were thinking, and now we were seeing our thinking made manifest, and now that's all on social media, and now that's being brought to life to an even greater level with AI. So it's like our whole thinking process is now in the process of being externalized and shown to us, and I think we've got a quite a clear choice coming up. We have the opportunity to disengage from that completely and be free and let the machines get on with it and let them carry the heavy load, or we will get immersed and consumed into it. Do you see it quite as harshly as that, perhaps?
Well, I want this conversation to start by asking, okay, what is it that exists after AI in terms of intelligence? Because many people don't even know that there is other possibilities
Yeah,
to
yeah,
get the answers you're looking for. We talk about emotional intelligence, but we forgot that there's 12 forms of intelligence that exist, environmental, musical, spatial, and so on.
yes.
And when you go there, you're like, wow. So
And you can't
there's
go
no
there,
way.
can you? If you're jammed up, if your frequencies are blocked on something,
Yeah.
you're not freed up to allow an engagement with those levels.
Because right now we're at the mercy of the algorithm. Chatbot is not something that just happened like that. The same
Yeah.
way than the web in 1989. The internet was built 20 years before by what? Corporations, the greediest.
Yeah.
Corporation, government, and any banks, whatever you have in mind, the army, they were controlling the economy, public opinion, and so way in advance. So when
Yeah.
the web came out, it was to serve the same purpose, which is why 90% is the dark web. So
Well,
today, it's not about arguing with it. It's not about saying there's something wrong with me. I hope people understand today. It's not about saying I must try to control myself. Forget that. It's an addiction by design. It was creating on purpose. Now it's to step back and look for the wellness by design, which is my methodology, right?
Woohoo! Okay, let's
And
do that, and perhaps the inward trajectory is, and why we avoid it as well. Here's another aspect on that. I think,
that's a big
Eric,
part. It's a big piece.
if you'll forgive me, but perhaps why we want to be engaged and have our frequencies jammed and have our awareness locked onto something is to avoid the reality of our inner terrain.
Escapism, yeah.
Yeah, that's where the past is stored, isn't it? And I was delighted to see this. I mean, it might be a sort of clunky connection to this, but I think once you start getting still, stuff comes up, and that's why it makes it a little bit unattractive to be still sometimes. If you want help with that, and this is, I think it was Aleem in our community who said this is an amazing event that's coming up. Some very Dr. Aleem was saying, trauma healing very important now in the world. This is a great event. How to finally heal the pain you carry inside? ? Dr. Bessel, Van der Kolk, Dr. Gabor Mate. I think both you and I are fans. Marissa Peer. Some of you will have heard of her. Tim Fletcher, a trauma recovery and addiction specialist. This is a free online event happening next week in our time zone as well, 7 p.m. in the evenings. First ever 3-day event, 100% free and online. Limited spots available. I will put the link to it into the chat. What do you think of that, Eric, before we go this morning?
Well, before we go, I'll just say this. You cannot heal from the same environment that made you sick, which explained my journey of self-discovery, where I found the natural antidote and so on.
Yeah.
But the point is this, for people to really find a solution to a problem, okay, that doesn't seem to end, is to step out of the environment that is creating that. And that's the reason why I chose to go to San Martino, to explore different possibilities. Because the more you are in this kind of environment, okay, the more you can support people in their journey to recovery, full recovery. The Global Wellness Institute just announced that recovery is now one of the biggest trends.
Yep.
And my question goes directly to the people there that says, but what about online addiction? They talk about booze, they talk about the cigarettes, they talk about everything you can imagine. But there's no room for online addiction.
It might be the elephant. It might be the elephant in the room at the moment. And we're not. The irony of us being online talking to each other has not escaped.
By all means, always. And then I want to say something. Offline Club just landed in Lisbon. Okay?
Did it?
Yeah, on September 30th. I will make a promotion for them.
Yes,
they
please
are
do.
doing their first event in a park. And as Leah is the founder, he said, Leah, it's quite ironic because we have 550K followers on Instagram. Yeah, we are encouraging people to unplug. And I'm in the same position.
Can you be our monitor of this and share those things in the Portugal?
I will do that for you.
Please do that. Have your own thread there and update us on these things. And we look forward to your program of helping people find 20 hours a week by a simple bit of unplugging with your support. So bon vie semana and birthday wishes. Happy returns, and here's to a great year for you ahead, Eric. Thank you for joining us this morning. Bon vie semana. Ciao, ciao, mate.
Don't forget to think outside the box. That's where the answers are.
Outside the box, everybody. All right, there he goes. Up there in Porto. Let's change up the settings because I owe you 3 tunes. We've got Little Feet, we've got Boss AC, Portuguese tune, and we're going to start with Elbow, the choice of Coach Turner, who came up with a great idea, the exercise snacks this morning. Have a great weekend. I'll probably play these back to back, but we'll continue the chat in the comments and I'll show you a few memes over there as well. Take care. Bye for now. And my friends, have a great weekend. Bon fin semana. Elbow now. Come on, Elbow. Let's do this.
Drinking in the morning sun, blinking in the morning sun, shaking off the heavy wall. Heavy like a loaded gun. What made me behave that way? Using words I never say. looking like a beautiful day. When my face is chamois creased, if you think I wink, I did. Laugh politely at repeats. Yeah, kiss me when my lips are thin. 'Cause holy cow, I love your eyes. And only now I see the light. Yeah, lying with you half awake, stumbling over what to say. Well, anyway, it's looking like a beautiful day. So throw those curtains wide. One day like this a year, it's see me right. Throw those curtains wide. One day like this a year, it's see me right. Throw those curtains wide. One day like this a year, it's see me right for life. Throw those curtains wide. One day like this a year, it's see me right for life. Falling down, I love you, and only now I see the light. Falling down, I love you, and only now I see the light. Throw those curtains wide. One day like this a year, it's see me right. Throw those curtains wide. One day like this a year, it's see me
Come on, all together now. Throw your curtains wide. Thank you very much for being here this morning. Thank you to Eric. Thank you to Coach Turner as well. Looking forward to some of those bite-sized and exercise snacks on the Portugal Club timeline, and some help from Eric with a bit of digital detoxing as well. And looking forward to seeing Russell and Miguel playing tomorrow night in San Martino de Porto. The music continues with Little Feet now, the choice of Sarah. Thank you very much for this. Lots of love to you, the Yerman family.
I've seen the bright lights of Memphis and the Commodore Hotel, and underneath the street lamp I made a southern belle. Well, she took me to the
Never heard that before. Thank you, Sarah, for that suggestion. Thank you, T-Duck, for the duck jokes as well on the screen at the moment. The films you're seeing on the screen, if you don't like real estate, you might like drone videography. This is Kyle. His work is amazing. Flying in and out of houses. Oh, that's not what we wanted to play. It was good, but not for a second time. Let's go to Boss AC there. Let me just pause that for a moment. That was great. Little Feet, Dixie Chicken. If you're out on the pool this weekend, try that as a chat up line. Would you like to be my Dixie Chicken? Yes, I can only imagine how that might end up. Do let me know though on Monday, 913-590-303, or in the chat. Boss AC, some Portuguese music. Long overdue actually. We must get back to playing more Portuguese music. We'll return to Antonio F's Portuguese music guide over at the Portugal Club. This for the time being though. Boss AC and Sexta-feira. Emprego bom já.
Tantos anos a estudar para acabar desempregado, ou num emprego da treta mal paga e receber uma gorjeta que chamam salário. Não tirei o curso superior de otário. Não é a falta de empenho, querem que aperte o cinto mas nem calças tenha. Ainda ao mês vai a meio, já eu estou aflito. Homem fazias-me era rico em vez de bonito. É sexta-feira, suei a semana inteira, no bolso não trago um tostão. Alguém me arranja emprego bom, já. Eu desenterro o país, o povo aguenta, mas qualquer dia a bolha rebenta. De boca em boca nas redes sociais, ouvem-se verdades que não vêm nos jornais. Ter carro é impossível, tive que vender para ter combustível. Tenho pasta que ris, mas hoje estão em greve. Preciso de boleia, alguém que me leve. É sexta-feira, suei a semana inteira.
It's that one, everybody.
No bolso não trago um tostão. Alguém me arranja emprego bom, já. É sexta-feira, quero ir para a brincadeira, mas eu não tenho um tostão. Alguém me arranja emprego bom, já. Basta ser honesto e eu aceito propostas. Os cotas já me querem ver pelas costas. Onde vou arranjar dinheiro para uma renda? Não tenho condições nem para alugar uma tenda. E os bancos só emprestam a quem não precisa. A mim nem me emprestam para mudar de camisa. Vou jogar Euro Milhões a ver se acabo em guice. Vou já tratar disso. É sexta-feira, suei a semana inteira, no bolso não trago um tostão. Alguém me arranja emprego bom, já. É sexta-feira, quero ir para a brincadeira, mas eu não tenho um tostão. Alguém me arranja emprego bom, já. Já.
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need